Ricky Carmichael, your own personal bike is being revealed here for Triumph.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of satisfaction in that for the amount of years that this has been going on, to have your name attached to such a premium brand as well?
Yeah, a lot of satisfaction. As I said in the press rollout, like I'm really humbled by this. I mean, you think about the brand of Triumph and just how iconic that brand is, and for me to be able to have an RC edition 450 on Triumph and it be a Triumph is special. Again, very humbling, and sometimes I'm left speechless. I'll never forget when I was riding it at the last video that we were creating some content for the rollout video, and I just had to, again, like look back and like smell the roses, if you will, and just all those thoughts and the process of how we got to where we are today were rolling through my mind. It was a lot of fun and definitely a special moment. I love the bike. I think it's great. But at the end of the day, I hope that the marketplace and everyone who has this motorcycle really enjoys it as much as I do.
And the 450 came out second. What was harder to develop, and why was the 250 first?
Yeah, so I think having the 250 first, that was the main focus for Triumph. That's why we did that, and then 450 second. But as a lot of people know, a lot of the manufacturers are running the frames both for the 250, the same for the 250 and the 450. So a lot of the hard work as far as chassis and stuff goes, and the base of the motorcycle was done on the 450 edition, or 250 edition, excuse me. So yeah, like the harder work I think was getting to where we were for the 250.
How much did you ride these bikes? You had Haiden and DeSalle
and Yvonne
as well. How much were you involved in seat time and
I was really involved at the beginning stages when we were getting the base of the bike, like the chassis, like for the frame and hard parts and crucial moments when we needed to sign off. But I was in communication all the time with all of our test riders, with Yvonne, Ivan, at the early stages when it was just kind of us three. Yeah, right. So, I mean, like from day one, they are able to ride a little bit more than I am and have more time to do that. But at crucial moments and crucial tests where we had to like sign off on things before it goes to production and make sure that everything is to where we needed it to be, I would ride the bike quite a bit.
How hard was it to get the balance? Obviously, MXGP is totally different what's required for AMA, Supercross, Motocross, and SMX now. How hard was it to get the balance to create a bike that's good for the pro guys over there and good for Harrop and all here?
As far as getting the balance right for what might be good for MXGP and what needs to be good for SX, just in the racing category, that wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I think the hardest thing, at least for me personally, was making sure that we had the right material. And I talked about the aluminum chassis on the rollout, and having make sure we had the right material and the right geometry. And I think, like, as far as racing goes, like certain components you can modify, but if the base of that before we put the components on was spot on, I think that these guys could tailor the bike with other components to suit their style of racing.
GP's side, both riders are
awesome.
Really well. Top 5 in the first year.
Yeah.
Was that expected, or where were you on this?
I mean, like so I look at as a whole in the program, and you take the MXGPs like Harrop. I mean, dude, the guy had like some PBs, I mean, in 5th in the championship. I don't think, like straight out of the gate, we were strong. So I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I was hoping for that, but I'm one of those guys. I hope for the best, but expect the worst. And we superseded my expectations for sure, both on the MXGP side and the US side. And again, that's a testament to the team, but also a testament to the bike. Because at the end of the day, the bike has to perform as well. It has to work good, and it has to have speed, it has to have balance, it has to handle well. So it's a testament to the bike.
it didn't seem to have any power issues. They were getting great starts in America and GPs. Was that difficult to get an engine that can be that competitive with the other factory teams that have been around for years?
Yeah, so I think we can all agree that the 250 it's a horsepower class, right? You got to have good engine. But the engineers at Triumph, they know what they're doing. They know the benchmarks. They know what the other motorcycles are producing. So we knew where we needed to be. We always want to be better, but we're close.
So on your career, you were known to ride the edge. Your previous mechanic, Chad Watts, once said, everybody thinks you're edge at a certain level, but it's not actually. You can ride beyond that. Is that how you felt racing when you were challenged? If you had another level?
If there was ever times where I needed to ride to another level, I felt like that I could do that and I could get there for sure. It wasn't always comfortable. It wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't a place that I liked to go for sure. But
did you practice that with your mum?
No.
Ride 3 laps absolutely flat out, or no?
Yeah, we would do a lot of sprint laps to try to find that speed to where you could get comfortable riding that speed for sure.
So you raced Jeremy McGrath and Stefan Everts, both technically perfect. Nowadays it looks like Haiden is more like you, and Jett Lawrence is technically perfect. How you beat Jeremy and Stefan, is that how you think Haiden will have to beat Jett, by just pushing Jett to a point where he's not willing to go?
I think that's going to be it's interesting. I think that's what Haiden does really well, and Jett is an exceptional rider. They're both great in their own way, and I don't know which one is going to work. I think the great thing for the sport is we're going to get to watch it and see it. I could argue for each rider of why I think their style will work for them and will eventually outdo the other. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But nevertheless, I think we're all lucky to be able to someday see that battle.
And did you have a plan for Jeremy? Was that he's going to ride?
Oh yeah.
I could potentially reckon at that point, or what was your plan?
Definitely had I knew that if I was able to ride that edge, I knew that I had an idea that MC was going to stay within his comfort zone and weigh on the side of thinking that I would lay it down. And luckily it worked out, and I was able to keep it on 2 wheels.
You've had a lot of races, a lot of wins. What was the best title that you enjoyed the most, and what was the best individual race win of your career?
I mean, the best title is the first one that you always win of anything, right? At least in my opinion. 250 Supercross, 125 Outdoor, and 97. That was fun. One of the most special races that I think of all the time, and I didn't even win it, was probably my last Supercross with me and James. It was just an epic battle, and the level that we were riding at was so high, but it almost felt effortless. So those
How
are
did you
the
keep your level that good that year? Because you were part-time.
Yeah.
You were just able to...
Yeah, I didn't have the pressure of the championship and just could go out and be free, and I didn't I didn't take risks, but I didn't have the pressure of the championship.
Did you feel pressure racing, because you seem to just execute the 10 outdoor championships?
I didn't feel the pressure. I didn't feel the pressure. It was more just go out and win. Like each single race, you go out, each single season, you go out, you win, you try to defend your championship, and that's on the forefront of your mind, or at least was on the forefront of my mind.
And did you analyze the other riders, or did you just focus on what you could do? Like Jeremy does this, or
you analyze riders and see where they're better than you at, and try to improve in those areas. But at the end of the day, I knew that if I prepared the best that I could, I would have just as good a shot of winning as anyone else. So I really raced my race, and how the chips would fall with how they would fall.
So you retired quite early, but you've won everything. I heard in different podcasts you said you didn't enjoy riding or really racing. Do you wish you'd enjoyed it more and raced for longer, or are you content with not?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I mean, sometimes I say, I wish I would have raced more, and sometimes I'm like, I'm happy with what I did. Of course, I have zero regrets. I mean, if I would have raced more, it would have been great. But maybe it wouldn't have went well. Maybe I would have gotten hurt with myself. I mean, I can't turn back the time, but at the end of the day, I was fortunate, and quite frankly, if I would have raced another 2 years, it wouldn't have changed my life at all. For the amount of money, I would have made great money, really, really good money, but that style and type of money wouldn't have changed my lifestyle. So I'm happy with what I did.
Okay, Prada was told on the Gypsy Tales program there, told here's Brian, this back in December, to think less and just ride. And
that's right, think less and just ride.
You operated, that seemed to be you were just able to
So basically, you think long and you think wrong. Everything has to be instant instincts. Yeah, it can come natural. That's how it was. I think you look at all great champions and everything just comes natural. They don't think a whole lot.
And who taught you that? Was that instinct or was that your mom saying?
Nah, that's just, I think it's something that you're born with.
And regarding all champions seem to very hard parents in terms of discipline, like Stefan and his dad was really hard on my mum, from what I've read, and do lap times, James' dad. Do you think riders need that? The Lawrence's dad is great, but precise on them, or is there
I mean, I think coaches and parents have to be cognizant of what their riders and kids are, what they feed off of. You know, I fed off of holding myself accountable. My mom knew what worked for me. What worked for me doesn't work for everybody. And I think as a parent or as a coach, you have to know what works for that rider. And if it doesn't work, you need to make the adjustment and find the adjustment and do what works for them, because not everything that I do doesn't work for everyone else.
Ricky Herlings' workload, Stefan ever said he couldn't take that amount of work, and it reminded me of what other writers said about you that tried to do your training program. What do you think of Jeffrey still racing at 30 despite the injuries, but his mentality, it probably came from watching you when he was a kid, win. That's maybe changed a wee bit now, but what are your thoughts on him, his mentality? He's 104 GP wins now, so he's up where you were in your outdoor wins. What's your thoughts on Jeffrey Herlings?
Yeah, I think Jeffrey's an incredible athlete. I think he's an incredible athlete. He's had a lot of injuries, sadly enough, but I still respect what he's been able to do and all those, all the race wins, MXGP wins that he has. It's incredible. It's incredible. He's an incredible athlete, and to see him still going and being so competitive at the age that he is, it's remarkable. And I have tremendous amount of respect for Herlings. Thanks, mate.